I'm also equally convinced that there's a lot of people that share my frustration as I see all of you out here on a Sunday afternoon, and that really excites me. And it inspires me, and also feels like there's an accountability to this, it's more than just me running for Congress. It's an opportunity for all of us to be a part of this, of saying, we're heading the wrong way. We've got to turn it back around again. There's something so much better that we need to pursue. That government is not the answer, it's the problem. There's a place for government, but it should be small government. The only government that I really think is effective is local government, where you really can keep a close eye on people and have that accountability and be able to fire them quickly if they're not doing the right thing. As you get out further and further away from the people that you represent, the more likelihood that you're going to start thinking that the money that you're getting is your own money. It's for your own benefit. And we've seen that so oftentimes where congressional folks will head out to Washington, D.C., and as soon as they cross over the Potomac, all of a sudden, they think this is all about them. And this is their money to spend, and this is their place to use for their benefit, the benefit of their friends and family. I feel so differently. I enjoy my work. I wasn't looking for a job. I work with a great company in Chicago called Performance Trust. It's an investment company that does fixed income investments for families and institutions and endowments, and I love the work that I do. Also, I'm a state senator, as I mentioned, so I'm a part-time legislator, a full-time business person. Also have my law degree, so I have I think some training in financial and legal aspects that I think are going to be beneficial to serving on Congress and really fighting for this district. Some of the things that have been important to me in Springfield that I've been working on is fighting against the growth of state government. We've seen huge expansion in my time down in Springfield, where year after year after year, incredibly irresponsible budgets where they're spending money that we do not have to create programs that we do not need, to take care of, again, their little pet projects, to push those. I've consistently fought against those. Unfortunately, my entire time I've been down in Springfield, I've been in the minority party. And so it's a challenge, but we've been effective on some things too. One of the things that I feel really strongly about was tort reform, that our court systems are out of control, not only at the judicial level, but also at the jury level. We've got parts of our state where they see the opportunity to go to court is a lottery ticket for them. If they get injured by a doctor, it's like they are holding a lottery ticket that they might be set for the rest of their life because they can sue that doctor and receive millions of dollars for that. And we all pay the price for that. We understand that that doesn't happen in a vacuum. If the jury verdicts are going to be out of control, we are going to pay the cost for it through higher medical expenses, higher insurance. The doctors, good doctors, are going to say, you know what, it's not worth it for me to practice here when I can go other places and pay much less for malpractice insurance. And we saw that. So I was the Republican spokesperson on the Judiciary Committee and was one of the chief sponsors of medical malpractice reform here in Illinois. And even though we were a minority party, we were able to pass through real medical malpractice reform through a democratically controlled Judiciary Committee, through a democratically controlled House, passed through the Senate, also signed by a Democratic governor. And we saw, I talked to doctors, and we were seeing some real impact on lowering the cost of malpractice insurance and starting to change this idea of defensive medicine, where doctors, rather than do 4 tests, they're doing 10 tests to create a paper trail. Even though they know those 4 tests really will determine what I need, they're going to do 10 tests because they're afraid I might be the one that's going to sue them. And so they're creating that paper trail. And again, we all pay the price for that. And so we passed this. Unfortunately, the democratically controlled Supreme Court has just recently struck down the malpractice law here in Illinois. So I filed, a group of us have filed it again. So we're going to keep pushing on it. We're not going to let up. But my guess is Mike Madigan, John Hultgren are so tied into the trial lawyers that it's not going to go anywhere. But you need to be aware of that. But that's some of the impact I've been able to have, is passing real legislation that does make a difference in people's lives. And even though I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall many days, I'm hopeful. I really am. Seeing a room like this, I'm hopeful because I think we've got a great opportunity there. I'm also watching around the nation, and honestly, my real hope is people ask, what can one person do? Well, one person can do a lot. By getting involved, by being willing to roll up your sleeves and do something, you can have an impact. But I also know that a bunch of one person one individual, if you can start grouping those people who are just one person all of a sudden who have a common ideology of saying it's not such a novel concept that the congressman should actually be working for the people that send him to Washington, D.C. Why has that been lost? That we need to get that back again. But my hope is to be one and then have 39 others around the country who believe like I believe, are running against incumbent Democrats, defeat them, and then retiring Nancy Pelosi would be